Welcome back to the Terry and Jesse Show. Matt Arnold sitting in for Jess Romero. And I consider Matthew an expert on Our Lady of Good Success because he's been there. He's been studying it for years. And Matt, I'm really concerned that Our Lady has been very adamant about teaching us about her son and our love for Jesus and his church and getting to heaven. Why is the devotion to Our Lady of Good Success relevant for, I say, for our time, which, let's be honest, there's a crisis in our church, and not only in the church, but in the world. So where's the connection?
Amen. Well, like you say, Terry, I've been traveling throughout the English-speaking world for 15 years. I mean, not just North America, but I've been to Europe and England and Australia, pretty much audiences that speak English, even in South America, talking about Our Lady of Good Success. And you say there's a crisis in the church. Every well-informed Catholic knows that this is the case. And Our Lady predicted 400 years ago that, especially in the second half of the 20th century, there would be this great crisis of faith and morals. And I can, we don't have time today, but I can demonstrate that from 1965, right, from the day the council closed to the year 2000, the end of the century, you can demonstrate this precipitous decline in every measurable standard, whether it's mass attendance or catechesis or vocations or whatever, that it's all in this, spiral. And full disclosure too, a lot of traditionalist Catholics are devoted to Our Lady of Good Success. But I should say that Our Lady of Good Success is not a traditionalist devotion. Right. Okay. It was first approved by a bishop in 1611. Okay. But, in modern times, there's a miraculous statue of Our Lady of Good Success that was given a canonical coronation by the bishop in 1991. The Royal Convent of the Immaculate Conception was made an Archdiocesan Marian sanctuary also in the 1990s. Right. The year 2010 through 2011 was proclaimed the year of Our Lady of Good Success. And, the bishop there celebrated the special 400th anniversary Mass. He celebrated the Mass on her feast day when I went back in 2017. Wow. Just a few years ago. Yeah. So it's as approved and as mainstream as it can get. Okay, that's my point. Right. And it started in Spain, but her title in Quito is La Nuestra Señora del Buen Suceso de la Purificación. What's translated? Well, in English, that would be Our Lady of Good Success of the Purification. Right? Good success. In Spanish, suceso is really probably better translated event, the great event of the purification. Now, what does this have to do with us? That's right. What about, exactly. That's my question right now. What were some, go ahead, hit it, because that's what. Well, not only did she say all these things about what was going to happen, that, that the sacraments would be profaned, that there would be a crisis in the clergy, that, vocations would, all the things that we know, but it's, according to Conceptionist sisters down there, it's her role as co-redemptrix, okay? That didn't start at the foot of the cross, but at the moment of the presentation. Right. Right? She's offering her divine son and herself to God in the temple. Got it. As co-redemptrix, right? Yep. And so that's the greatest sacrifice that ever took place in the temple at Jerusalem. Okay? Yep. When you think about it. And the scriptures, as Scott Hahn has pointed out, they mention the doves, right, that sacrifice to the poor, but not the 2 shekels of redemption money. Right. Why? Because the Blessed Virgin and Holy Saint Joseph did not redeem Christ. They gave him over to God. Right. And so this devotion is not only to Mary as co-redemptrix, which is being challenged right now, even by some in the church, but a devotion to pray for vocation. Because think about it. The graces that Christ won on the Holy Cross are primarily communicated to the world through the sacraments. And without the priesthood, those channels of grace are shut off. Amen. And she predicted the clergy scandal. She said, I got the quote here someplace, that these depraved priests, all right, talking about this is incredible. Talking about the abuse scandal. Yeah. What she said that they would cause opprobrium to fall upon all priests. Wow. And of course, we've seen that happen. So it's really important also, but the other big thing is the scandal of the sins of the flesh. And Terry, I got to tell you, it's like even in 1917, right, Our Lady of Fatima, what did she say was the thing sending most people to hell? Sins of the flesh. Right, sins of the flesh. Our Lady said that it would, the impurity in our time would be like a filthy ocean that touched everything.
Wow. Wow.
Everything, even the church.
Yeah.
Right. And that's so important to understand. She said that there would almost be no modesty in women or innocence in children.
She nailed
and again, it. If you want to look, and she said there'd be almost no virgin souls. And I think that relates to vocations to the religious life among women, because as we know, has just, plummeted.
Yes.
And also, as far as the attack on the innocence of children, I've been talking about this for years, children's entertainment and how, sexual innuendo and the attack on fatherhood, all this stuff. But I mean, today, Terry, you want Exhibit A, how about drag queen story hour? Okay.
There you go.
Can we figure that the innocence of children just might be under attack here? That's the smoking gun. And all of these things that she predicted 400 years ago are happening today.
I would also add the issue of pornography. I know that you go back to the Greeks, I get all that, but it wasn't really, in my humble opinion, reading what I've read, till the 20th century when pornography just became rampant with the elevation of the TV, movies.
Right.
So that to me had, when the statistic I have, Matt, in America, we have 330 million people. 1 out of 3, 110 million of them have sexually transmitted diseases. Okay?
Ouch.
That tells me we're out of control regarding our sexuality with a biblical worldview. It is obvious that pornography and all these immoral things that are going on with pornography has infiltrated the family, the clergy, the whole world.
Right. Well, and that's something that somebody brought up to me actually years ago. Mm-hmm. And this is before the advent of the smartphone. I mean, today, again, the innocence of children, they say that, well, I've mentioned this a million times, but I will again. When I was a kid, a boy, my access to pornography is, I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I had no access to pornography at all. But today, the average kid is exposed to hardcore pornography, which didn't even exist when we were kids.
Right.
At the age of between 9 and 11.
Horrible.
Because of the smartphone.
Yes.
But even before then, it was already becoming a crisis, a vocational crisis, that there were virtually no young men who hadn't been influenced by pornography.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a huge, we talk about no virgin souls, that's a huge issue.
I'm stunned by what you're saying, and I'll tell you why. It seems to me, and when we come back from the break, I want to talk about how Our Lady's apparitions and other apparitions are tied together by one.
Oh, yeah.
This is interesting, but I want to also remind people, if they ever want you to come to their parish or to their event to speak on Our Lady of Good Success, how can they do that, Matt?
Well, easiest way is to contact me directly via email, matt@matthewarnold.org. Hard to forget that one. If you can remember my name, you know how to get in touch with me.
Yeah.